Welcome to Selfish Confidence, a place where we can connect and be real about how hard it is to be your damn self. My name is Jess, and my goal is to help you build confidence and belief in yourself to live any life path you want, even if it's unconventional. It's time to flip off societal pressures and connect with women who've also felt on the outside by their life choices. We're here to encourage you to grab the mic and speak your truth. I know it can be scary, but we're in this together. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to this week's Confidence Corner. It's Jess here, and if you're watching this live, it is kind of dark. I tried to turn on the ring light, and it didn't. It was way too bright. So because of the rain, because of the cloudy day, it's just a little darker in here, and we're going to roll with that because I am rocking the black Selfish Confidence. Maybe that's why. It's just all the black. I'm normally so many bright colors, but the black Selfish Confidence embroidered sweatshirt. These are only going to be available for another 2 more weeks. So limited edition, if this is something that you're just like, wow, like I love that it's hand embroidered. I love that every single one is unique. Then send me a message so that you can get your pre-order in and I can send that out because they're only going to be for a couple more weeks because as you know, I guess I don't really know because I made the joke that I'm the one who hand embroiders these. It's not me. It's my girl Fiona. It's a very good friend of mine, and she hand embroiders every single one of them, and it takes a lot of time. So I can't keep the pre-orders open forever. It's just for a couple more weeks. So if that's something that interests you, you want one of the hand embroidered sweaters, it says Selfish Confidence along the neck. They come in black and they come in purple. And then down the arm, it says Own Your Magic with a bunch of beautiful embroidery around it. Send me a message so that you can get that in before those pre-orders close. But that being said, today is kind of a really special episode that I've been thinking of for a few weeks, especially since the retreat. So I hosted my second Selfish Confidence retreat last weekend, and I keep having the question coming up of, who am I? Or how do I know myself after a big life change, after something in your life happens that throws you for a loop? For me, that big change was moving to another country and experiencing a whole different world. And of course, also experiencing a pandemic and living life in a very different way changed who I was. For some of you, that might be becoming a mom. For some of you, it might be changing your career and losing your identity. For some of you, it could be so many different things. And I just keep getting this question popping up. And every single person has a different reason why their identity is shifting. And I think we often only see one way. Typically that's becoming a mom, but that's not the truth. There's actually so many different ways that big things in our life and even small things in our life can impact who we are and can impact our identity. And this question keeps coming up. And I think especially post-retreat where people start to think about it more and even see, different, even the shift in my own life can really change and make you think about what's happening in yours. So I'd want to know, who are you? What is this all about? And if you're on live, be sure to type it into the comment section. But I want you to know yourself. I think it's the ultimate goal to know yourself like you know your partner, like you know your BFF, like you know your kids, like you know your neighbor, whoever it is that like you know what they're going to say. You know those videos when someone says something and then they like repeat it back because they know exactly what their partner is going to say. Or if it's a special occasion, where they would want to go to dinner or how they would want to celebrate or what kind of cake they would want on their birthday. You know these details about so many people, but we rarely know them about ourselves. And this weekend I asked that question, if it was your birthday, what would you want to do? How would you want to celebrate? And as women, we put ourselves on the back burner so often that we don't even know how to answer these questions for ourselves. But the truth is, most people around you would want to celebrate you how you want to be celebrated. They would want to know you. And for some reason, we feel shame and guilt and we hide behind that, but that's not the best way to do it. We need to be leaning into what's important to us. A big thing when it comes to identity is just like knowing and being able to speak what it is that you want. It's one thing to also know it, to be like, hey, I really want confetti cake on my birthday. It's another thing to be able to speak it. And I noticed this even in myself a few weeks ago where I didn't really know how to say what I wanted. And I felt shame around wanting things. And that's not the best way to go about it. We're all worthy of knowing who we are and being able to speak up for what we want. And so when it comes to your identity, the most important thing that you can do is start to ask yourself some questions. You can ask yourself, like, what do I like? What do I want to do today? Who do I want to be? If today was my last day on earth, what would I want to do? And really getting clear on asking yourself these questions helps you to figure out who you are. It's the same thing when you're starting to date someone new and you ask them questions and you're just like, hey, like, what's your favorite color? Where do you want to go for dinner? All these things that you start to learn about other people as you get to know them is what you need to be doing with yourself. And for some reason, we forget to do that with ourselves. We spend so much time with ourselves and we don't even know what's going on in there. We don't know what we would pick. If it was your last meal today, what would you pick? And you can't just say pizza because everybody says pizza. Like, what actually would you want? Where would you want to go for dinner? If today was your last day on earth, and I'm not trying to go morbid here, but like if it was, what would you want to do? What would be fun for you? And the big one that I often ask is around your birthday. If it was your birthday, how would you want to celebrate? How would you want to be celebrated? What would you want to do? And I've gotten very clear on that one because I've had birthdays where they didn't go how I would have wanted them. But you know what? Like, it's your birthday. It's your life. It's your journey. So why not live it the way that you want to live it? Why not ask for what it is that you want? And truth is, most people around you want to celebrate you how you want to be celebrated. The next thing I have on my list here, I made a few notes of what I thought would be important for you for figuring out your identity. But the next one is taking notes of what lights you up. So maybe you try something new. I actually had someone in the Confidence Collective one day, they realized that they really liked bookmarks. And it's something so small and so simple, but that can make a really big difference in knowing what lights you up and just be like, I didn't even realize that I like to do that. I didn't even realize that I enjoyed crocheting. I didn't realize that I enjoyed, insert whatever. I actually started watercolor at a retreat recently, and I didn't even know that I like to paint. I didn't know that I like to spend time with different paints and colors. And you don't know unless you try it. So really figure out what lights you up by trying new things and experimenting in different areas of your life. If you're like, oh yeah, I would never eat that or I'd never like that, I challenge you to try it. You really don't know. You don't know what you don't like. And it's funny because we're told things. We get it from our parents. We get it from our grandparents. We're told things our whole lives about who we are and what we want and what we like and what we don't like, right? I bet you can think back to some time when your parents were like, oh, you won't like that. It's spicy. Or you won't like that. It's, insert, right? And just one time you tried it and you didn't like it. Experiment, try new things and figure out who you are. That is actually a really key piece in learning about yourself, is trying new things, experimenting. And as you try new things, taking note on what you like and what lights you up. And when you try something new, like maybe going live on Instagram, even though you're pooping your pants every single time you do it, maybe you start to learn that that's what you like to do. You like to speak up. I would have never guessed that I would have been the person who had a podcast, who spoke on stages, who did different things, because that was never what I saw myself in my identity. But trying it and slowly getting more comfortable with it really built the foundation of who I am. And I can't imagine my life without it. And the same thing goes for when you meet your partner, or maybe the same thing goes when you have a baby and you start to see your life in a different light. These big things that can happen in your life, moving, new jobs, losing a loved one, those things can really create a big ripple and a big impact on your life and on your identity. When you no longer can call yourself, a wife, or you can no longer call yourself a teacher. Really figuring out who you are outside of those things is so important. So if you are struggling with your identity and you're just like, I don't know who I am, I don't know how to confidently show up as myself because I really don't know who I am, I really challenge you to ask yourself some questions, experiment, see what lights you up. And if you're still looking for more, I've decided to open up a Confidence Collective round starting May 15th. So this is my 6-week confidence boosting program. And the whole focus of the program is around figuring out who you are and knowing yourself and being able to express that in the world. And every week we have different lessons, and they can be something as similar and as small as who am I? What do I like? To really deep questions on how do I want to show up in the world and where do I want to go? And we do it in a way that feels really safe. It's a group program, so you'll be able to connect with other people who are also feeling the same way as you, and really opening up in a safe space that allows you to be confidently you. And that is the goal of it all. So I think that it's really special that we be ourselves in this world, because why would we want to be anyone else? But for some reason, society puts us in this box and tells us that we can only do it one way. And that's not the truth. And a lot of us know that. So if you're looking to step out of that box, if you're looking to find yourself, if you're looking to do more, you're feeling that urge and that call and that itch in your belly to do more, then I challenge you to step into the Confidence Collective, or to step into asking yourself some deep questions. And if you don't know where to start, send me a message so that we can connect and we can lean on each other, because the world needs you. Needs 100% you to shine, not the person that your parents told you to be, not the person that your kids think you should be, not the person that work has molded you to be, into who you actually are. That's what we need. So I love you, and I love watching you shine, and I can't wait to see what questions you start to ask yourself this week.
What's up, sis? I am so glad we could hang out today. If you love this episode, send it to a friend or share it on your social media and tag me so I can personally thank you for helping me sprinkle some confidence in the world. And don't forget, you are magic. Let's show the world your shine.